We believe our human origin goes back to God's creation of Adam and Eve, the first the humans on earth. But how did Adam and Eve procreate? How did the first generation of mankind start? Did their children sleep with each other, and that led to the next human generation? Isn't that incest? Would it mean we come from a lineage of illegitimate offspring? In this video we will answer these questions. Who is Eve? Eve is the wife of Adam, the father of humans, and she is the one from whom humans came and later multiplied. From her and Adam, humanity descended, and to them the human lineages return. Life began after God created them and sent them to heaven together. What was Eve created from? God created Eve after he created Adam. Creation began with the creation of Adam from dust, and his dwelling in paradise. He was lonely and had no companionship, so he hoped between himself to find someone to comfort him in heaven, and God knew what was going on in his soul, so he created a woman for him. From his body to make him feel comfortable, so when he slept, God created her from his rib, and when he woke up, he saw Eve in front of him, so he asked her, "Who are you?" She replied that she was a woman, and when he wanted to know the reason for her creation, she answered him that she had been created to live with him, so the angels asked him what he wanted to name her, so he said, Eve, and perhaps this was her name because she was created from a living being. Eve and her husband Adam live in paradise. Paradise and eat its fruits, and their lives were a comfortable life. God allowed them all to eat whatever they wanted and stay where they wanted. God forbade Eve and her husband Adam to eat from a certain tree. What kind of tree was Adam forbidden to eat from? And while Adam and Eve were provided with paradise and its bliss, God commanded them not to approach a specific tree, lest they earn the wrath of God, and he did not indicate the type of this tree, but rather left the matter unknown. But the people of the book say that it is the tree of good and evil, and Satan called it the tree of eternity to win over Adam and Eve and make them fall into the forbidden. Satan whispered to Eve and her husband Adam. What are the reasons that Satan gave Adam to eat from the tree? Satan whispered to Eve and Adam to eat from the tree that God forbade them to eat from, with his words, and seduced him with what he would find after eating from this tree. So he angered his Lord and deviated from his commands, but that deviating from obedience to God was not with the intention of angering God. Rather, Adam wanted to obtain immortality in this enchanting paradise. What was the consequence of eating from the tree? After Adam and Eve ate from this tree and obeyed the order of Satan, God's wrath descended upon them, Adam and his wife Eve. The coming of the divine command to descend to the earth. What is the fate of those who do righteous deeds on earth from the children of Adam? At the moment when Adam, he also asked them, did he not warn them of the schemes of the accursed Satan? So Adam and his wife wept and repented to God, so he forgave them, but to atone for their sin, God commanded them to go down to earth, along with the damned Satan, and he tempted them to do so by saying that this tree specifically, and not other trees, is the tree of eternity, so if they would eat from it, they would enjoy eternity in the life of this world, and that they will be among the angels, and that was nothing but a lie from Satan, who seemed to know the consequences of eating from this tree. Did Adam and Eve respond to the temptation of Satan? Adam responded to Satan's misguidance, so he tempted him. So the first thing that appeared was their shame, so God admonished them for this act of theirs, and they began trying to cover their shame with the leaves of the trees of paradise. So God's wrath and anger was the title of this stage in the life of and Eve disobeyed God's command and complied with Satan's command and ate from the fruits of the tree. They heard a voice calling them, and that voice was God's voice, and he asked them, did he not forbid them from eating from that tree? How did Adam and Eve spend their time in heaven? After God created Eve, she became the companion and entertainer of Adam in paradise, and they lived a quiet life that was not disturbed by anything. So they used to have fun in and whoever helped him among the animals, to enter the paradise from which he was expelled. Succession of Adam and Eve on earth. How did life begin on earth? After Adam confessed his sin, God repented and answered him. God guided him and made him a prophet, and made him a caliph on earth with his children. Thus began the life of mankind on earth with Adam and Eve. It began with toil and work. Life is no longer that easy. And matters of its own, and they must secure housing, clothing and food, in order to maintain their continuity on this land, and so they started planting, watering, grinding and baking to be able to continue, and whenever they remembered their sin. 6. So Adam rejoiced. And Eve with what God gave them, and so the days passed until the children grew up and became young men, and they are Cain and Abel, and Iklimah and Uzzah as it is narrated. How do Adam's children multiply? And the last of them was Abd al-Mughith and his sister al-Mughith, so people spread after that and multiplied. The belly with the female of the other belly, and his female married the male of the other belly and so on, until they multiplied more and more, and from what was said about their abundance and number, our master Adam did not die until he saw 40,000 of his children and their offspring. These narrations are about how the sons of our master Adam reproduced. Children were born to Adam and Eve, and in each womb a male and a female were born, and the method of marriage was for the male to marry a female in another womb, and it was not allowed for the male and female to marry from the same womb, but later. And when people multiplied, reproduced and spread, this method was forbidden. Due to the absence of the cause, it is the union of parents. To whom are the lineages of the sons of Adam traced back? Sheth is the one to whom the lineage of the children of Adam returns to our present day, and that the rest of the sons of Adam have perished, so they no longer have any offspring, and when the sons of Adam multiplied, it was reported that marriage was completed by the marriage of a male from one womb to a female from another womb when the mother and father were united, until they multiplied and spread, and the fathers and mothers diversified, so this method of marriage was. In paradise, they live a happy life in which they get everything they wish for, but as soon as their lives begin on earth, until their conditions change, in this land the seasons alternate. And each of these seasons has needs. They cried and asked God's forgiveness for their actions. Human reproduction. Where did humans come from? The life of Adam and Eve passed in this world between work and seriousness and thinking about how to survive in this life and seek forgiveness for their sin, and then their numbers began to multiply. So Eve gave birth to a daughter and a son, then she gave birth to a daughter and a son, and so the number of the earth's population became. How the sons of Adam reproduce when the parents are united. Imam Ibn Jarir al-Tabari mentioned in his history that Eve gave birth to Adam 40 children, in 20 wombs, the first of whom was Cain and his sister Kalima. And that every time Eve gave birth, she gave birth to a male and a female, so the male from the first womb married the female from the second womb. How human beings produce when parents differ. A number of. The genealogy of the sons of Adam ends with his son Seth, who was known to be the best of the sons of Adam and the most similar to his father Adam, and the most beloved of them to him. From the foregoing, it is understood that nullified at that time. Thank you for watching this video.